Hello, we've got an interesting one to do today, and I think you're going to like it. So, you need your cold pressed watercolor paper, you need to tape it down, wet your page quite liberally, and I'm using the Malang watercolor paint today with a large flat brush, and I'm just spreading the paint around the page. I'm using this lovely lush brown colour, which has got a bit of a reddy tinge to it. And then I've got this lovely Prussian blue. Just letting the colours mix together over the page and sort of assisting them by pushing that paint around. So I've let the paint dry and then I've grabbed some gesso, and you could use white acrylic paint if you haven't got this, or any colour you want. I've got a stencil and I've got a little sponge here. I'm just sponging onto the stencil, not going all over the stencil. I'm just doing like a little section coming down and picking up some of those patterns. Not quite sure what it's going to look like when I pull away the stencil. I've finished with that and I've let that dry, and I've got another stencil here, lovely little square stencil, and I've got some bronze paint and I'm dabbing that through. Again, just being random, picking some of the squares to do, and it's very subtle, as you can see. You can hardly see the pattern underneath, but it just adds a little bit more depth to your painting. So I've got a lovely squeegee bottle and I love doing this. This is just so fun, doing these lovely round marks all over the page. Really love doing that. And then adding some little dark dots across the page. I've let that dry and I've got a white Posca pen here, white acrylic paint pen. And I'm just outlining some of these black marks. I thought that would be fun to do, outlining right round the edges of it. I'm trying my hardest not to cover that black pen, so just really having a steady hand, taking it slow, going around all the different shapes and outlining. When I've finished doing that, I have grabbed a little fine liner black pen, and I thought it'd be fun to do some little dashes coming from that black line and just dashing it out. I think the fine liner is a 0.5 black fine liner pen. So you can see here just pulling out those little black lines, and it looks like a bit of a pathway, I think, going right around those lovely circles, and you can follow it with your eye. Swapped over to the Posca pen and I'm just dotting inside some of those little black circle marks I've made, and then back to the fine liner, and I just want to make those stencil marks a little bit bolder, so I'm just drawing inside, just following the outline of those marks and making them just a little bit darker, a little bit more interesting. So I've got a bronze Uniball broad pen here, and I'm outlining those marks so that they stand out a little bit better. And then now to a Posca pen, making some lovely white marks inside these oval shapes, and I think they look kind of cute there. And then I'm drawing some lines out from the side of where I know the border will be, and I'm then adding some little gold marks on top of those, and I think that makes that look rather interesting. All of these marks have a subtle kind of feel to them. I think because the background isn't that bold in colour, so the white, when I'm putting that down, is very pale. But just adding those little gold marks there just makes it a little bit more interesting and adds some depth to it. So I've got a Uniball white pen here and just outlining some of those black marks. It's a bit like a game like Hunt for the Marks, so that you can complete and put all of these circles round. So quite fun to do. I always find that I've missed some and I have to go back and change pens to make sure that they're all complete. And here with the gold marks, the bronze marks that I put, I'm just adding some little white dots inside there. So again, very subtle, but I'm just enjoying doing it. And that's the truth of it. I'm just having a whale of a time just thinking, what shall I do next? And I hope you do too, because it's so relaxing, so fun to do. And you just get lost in the moment, just thinking, well, what shall I do next? And where can I mark make on to my page? So I found some more little black marks that needed circling with that white pen there. And then I swap over and get the black fine liner and encircle the marks that I've made in those oval shapes. So just completing that, filling them all in and making sure that they're all done. And once they're done, I'm then got my squeegee bottle again. And I thought that I'd sort of ruined the stencil mark by putting those other marks in because I couldn't really see them. So I thought, well, what can I do? So I've got the squeegee bottle and I've decided to just outline, and I thought that would be really fun to do. I love using these squeegee bottles, and they're really good for the like fine little line, and they leave like a little raised mark on your page, which is quite fun when you see that. You just have to remember to make sure that each layer has dried with this squeegee bottle paint, because otherwise you'll put your hand on and you'll get it all over your hand and then you're going to transfer it. And I've done that many a time, been impatient and wanted to just get on and then got it all over my hand and ruined my painting. So every time you put this on, you just need to wait for that to dry, and then you can continue and make some more marks with it. I've got a black marker pen here and I'm going to outline the border. I'm using a black just because of the black detail within that page, but you can use any colour you want, or you might not want a bold border like this. And then I've heated up the tape and pulling that tape away, being careful not to rip my page. And then I'm going to pull this up to the screen so you can see the detail. So there's some little black marks there that I can see, and I'm going to use a white Posca pen to just pen them out. But other than that, I've really enjoyed doing that. And I hope you get to try this. And if you like this, maybe you'll consider liking and subscribing, or maybe leave me a comment. Let me know whether you're going to try this, what colours you're going to use, and how you get on. I would love to hear from you. Okay, bye-bye.